Good morning, friends. On this Friday, April 10th, I invite you to, we'll start on our backs this morning. And so I have a blanket here that I have folded in half and then in half again and half again. And I'm putting this down on my mat, like so. And I invite you to try this for yourself. It's a great heart opener, also third chakra opener. You want to sit on the floor and let your back rest along the blanket. And if you're tall enough, your head may actually come off the end a little bit. You can support that with another pillow or a block, or just let your head gently come to the floor. Otherwise, just settle yourself in here, finding your most comfortable position. And if this is not comfortable, then you can certainly open the blanket, make it a little flatter, or just remove it entirely. But just please come to the floor. So if you're just joining me, I'm inviting everybody to land on the floor, sort of starting in Shavasana this morning, but also adding a heart opener and just the core. We'll be working with the core today. So while you stay there on the floor, I will sit up so I can talk to you more directly. First, I want to note that we may have a couple of interruptions today. We have snow falling off the roof. We could have a UPS delivery. The power has been a little iffy in the town of Bethel this morning, so we could lose power, which means I will go away. But hopefully we'll get through this next hour together. In thinking about class today, I have been so very aware of, as we continue in this quarantine period, I've been so utterly aware of the need that we all need to strengthen ourselves. We need to stand strong. We need to stand strong with physical distancing, and also just an internal strength that's to keep ourselves together. There's nothing easy about this in any way. So my thoughts for today were to focus on the first chakra. So this, from the hips down to the floor, that chakra that holds us strong and steady and confident and kind of prepared for anything. And then also the third chakra. So first chakra is Muladhara. Third chakra is Manipura. And this is the center of power, your center for intention, strength. It's your powerhouse. It comes right here, right from the diaphragm. So we'll be working with the core and with just rooting down into the earth today. So again, if you're just joining me, go to your back, enjoy being on the floor and just resting, let your eyes close. If you'd like to be over a blanket, that is a great place to start this morning. And I invite you here, as you recline over your blanket or just on the floor, I invite you to start to just stretch. So imagine stretching into a 5-pointed star. You're stretching legs out. Stretching, I'll do it. I will join you here. So we're stretching out on our back. Legs are stretched out. Arms are reaching. Fingertips are reaching. Take a nice deep breath here. Exhale and relax. Let's take another deep breath. Reaching out through fingertips and toes. And relax. One more of those. And we release. And bringing legs together, we'll gently roll off of the blanket if you have one. And I'll move mine over there. Come to your back again. Let's bring those knees in for a hug. A little bit of gentle rocking here. Eyes are closed or the gaze is softened. And I remind you that this is your practice. So make this exactly what your body, mind, and spirit are needing this morning. If I suggest something or offer something that doesn't feel right or doesn't fit well, then don't do it. This is your time, your practice. So take care of yourself first. And from this place of a little gentle rocking, we'll come to the center. We'll keep this right knee in, extend the left leg out, and let the shoulders drop into the floor. Another point of note this morning is that I'm not going to mirror you when I'm in this sideways position. It's become too confusing for me and for folks. So my right knee is in, and we'll circle this right knee, getting into the right hip. Circle in the other direction. And we'll switch legs. So right leg lands, left knee comes in, nice breath, exhaling the left knee into the body. And then we circle and circle in the other direction. And come back to center. And then we'll switch legs again. This time, let's hover that left leg. Circle through your ankles. Switch legs, circle through the ankles. And with your right hand on that left knee, drop the left knee over to the right side, scooching your right hip out. We open the right arm, and either keeping the right hand on keeping the left hand on your left shoulder or reaching it out. Just breathe into that opening, shoulder, pec, belly, chest. Next breath, hand comes in. We support the knee back up to center. Scooch around so you come back to neutral. And bringing the right knee in. Left hand supports this right knee over. Scooching the left hip out as this right arm either reaches or right hand comes to your right shoulder. And we drop into this opening twist. Breathing into the shoulder, into the belly, breathing into the hips. And with your next breath, supporting the knee back to center. Come on back in. Neutralize everything. We'll land. Let's bring the knees together and the feet a little bit apart here. And hand on the belly, hand on the heart. Take a moment to find your length here. So you're lengthening from the tailbone up to the crown. Settling in, your gaze softens or the eyes close. And as you begin to arrive, perhaps notice your heartbeat. Begin to notice the breath. Consider softening the jaw. And the brow. And know that you do not have any responsibilities to have any facial expression at all. Just let that go. And from this place of grounding, we'll imagine inhaling up through the earth, up through the floor, up from the earth rather, through the floor, through the soles of the feet, all the way up the legs, up the spine, and up to the tip of the nose, watching the breath come up the body, and exhaling that breath right back down the body and into the earth. Noticing with the inhalation the rise of the belly, taking that rise up through the core and exhaling that breath right back down the body. Noticing what you can let go of with your next few exhalations. And as you continue to breathe this full-bodied grounding breath, imagine what you can bring into the body with the breath. What makes sense for you to fill yourself with today? Two more of these breaths. And after your next exhalation, come back to ordinary breathing. And we'll inhale the arms up over the torso, taking the hands around to find the shoulder blades, and perhaps giving yourself a little hug here. So hips stay right where they are as you rock the torso. Inhaling arms up, we switch the arms around to come to the other hug. And with your next breath, arms reach up, hands come together, and we'll bring these hands right down to the sternum. So thumbs rest on the sternum, coming into Anjali Mudra here. And take a moment here to set intentions for yourself. And let's seal those intentions with a single sound of Om after an inhale. Inhale. With your next breath, we reach out, stretch out through hands, out through toes, maybe yawn, big breath here. And then rolling over to your belly. Settle yourself right onto the belly here. I'm going to move a couple things out of my way here, but we begin by lengthening out. We're looking for length from fingertips to toes here. And the hands gently come in to resting next to the head, the neck, the torso. We'll begin with Salabhasana or locust. And in this posture, we inhale, lengthening out through the crown, reaching from the toes up through the crown. And let's consider lifting the arms. So we inhale, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale. And for this next time, consider lifting the legs Taking a breath, again, reaching from toes all the way to fingertips in the crown. We exhale down. One last time, inhale, lift and lengthen. Let's stay here for a couple of breaths. Breathing, filling the core, exhale down. And from here, hands support you back to child pose. So knees come right under the body. We bring the knees a little bit apart, big toes together. Settle into your child pose. Forehead comes to the floor. Nice big belly breath. Exhale. Take the next several breaths here to lengthen through the spine. Really bring the forehead to the floor, noticing that connection. Noticing with every exhale, you're taking the spine and the tailbone a little deeper toward the heels. With your next breath, we inhale up. Knees come right under your hips here. Roll your way on up as we take a nice breath, lengthening up right up through fingertips here. We'll exhale, hands in front of the body. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale. Another big breath here. Exhaling, hands behind the back this time. Let's open the heart. Hips come forward as shoulders drop down the back body. Breathing into this wide open front body. Exhaling, we'll come to child pose. Head comes to the floor. Hands lift and shift yourself into rabbit pose. Inhaling as you then sweep back up. Exhale, hands behind the back. Inhale, lift through the heart. One more time. We exhale. The crown of the head gently lands as the hands lift. And then sitting back down, this is pretty fluid. And from here, hands come to the side body. Landing here on your side, on your knees. If you need some support, of course, grab a blanket, double up your mat, whatever makes sense. Let's inhale together again. Exhale over to the side. Inhale up and exhale over. One more on each side. Inhaling and exhaling. This time, as we inhale, hands will plant. And let's just come into some very gentle cat and cow stretches here. So we're exhaling into that scared cat, inhaling into your cow, your old cow. Lots of space here, lots of breath. And making your way with the next breath up to a standing position. We'll come up to the front of the mat. Let me get a drink here. Coming right to the front of your mat. We will land. Take a moment to drop those shoulders into place. We're not quite finding our mountain pose yet. We're still arriving. With your next breath, let's inhale up. Exhale, hands into a little bit of a twist. So one hand drops behind. We inhale up. Exhale. And drop in. Taking your gaze either to the side or behind you. And one more in each twist here. Exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. This time as you lift and lengthen, we'll take a little back bend. Exhaling, hands behind the back, shoulders drop down the back, elbows come together, and we come into just a little bit of a standing camel here. Hips open. Again, those elbows are reaching down. We breathe into the front body. Inhaling back to center. Now we begin to find our mountain pose or Tadasana. Feet are right under the hips, shoulders gently drop down the back, palms find an opening. We lengthen up through the ground. Take a moment to just work on, for yourself, where is that perfect place of balance here? We all have a little bit of a default setting. Mine is over here. So for me, it's always bringing myself back, dropping in, lengthening up. With your next breath, we inhale up. Exhale, come on down. Dropping hands to the floor, and if the floor feels far away, grab a blanket to support you here, or a block, or a book. We'll inhale, hands to the knees as the knees gently bend a little bit, lengthening through the back body. We'll exhale down again, relaxing the jaw, the brow. Knees stay a little bit bent here as you start to greet your hamstrings this morning. Noticing the connection with the earth through all parts of your feet. With the next breath, inhale, hands to the knees, we lengthen, exhale down, and let's step back with the right foot. Staying here in high lunge, I'm going to grab a couple blocks for demonstration. Staying here in high lunge for a moment. Blocks are super handy here as you begin to shift forward and back. We're inhaling forward, exhaling as we bow. And exhaling and inhaling. And the next time you exhale and you have this long leg in front of you, toes reaching up, take a breath here. Exhale, finding space in the back body as you also find some space in the hamstrings. Where can you soften here? What can you let go of to make this more comfortable? Or what can you add to make this more comfortable? It might make sense to really come up. I'm talking to you, Mac, if you can hear me. Might make sense to really use your blocks here. We'll bring a little windshield wiper in. Take another breath, exhale over this long leg. Breathing into the hamstrings, into the back of the knee. And then we inhale, shifting forward, back knee comes to the floor. We want this front knee, so your left knee is right over that heel. And let's inhale up. And so for this morning, actually, I'm going to leave you there for a breath while I go to the next layer. For this morning, I thought we would use what I call warrior breath. And so this breath is all about the diaphragm. It's all about the third chakra, strength, intention. And it looks like this. We take a breath here, and then hands come to fists. We exhale, bring the elbows right next to the body. So it's an inhale, hands come to fists, exhale. And I like to do it with a bit of a ha. So let's try 3 of these together. Inhale, ha, ha, ha. This time as we inhale up, we turn and open to warrior 2. So left arm's coming right over the left knee. Right arm is reaching behind you. And we're breathing into this warrior 2, short warrior 2. And from here, arms reach out with the in-breath, and we exhale, once again, bringing hands right into the body with a ha. So it's an inhale, ha, ha, ha. Inhale, land, and then we come back forward once again, exhaling, hands to the floor. And from here, we'll sweep this front leg behind, lengthening out through the left leg. Right arm reaches forward. I need to keep moving forward here because I'm running out of space. So right arm reaches forward, left leg is reaching behind. And let's continue our 3 breaths. We exhale, bringing elbow to knee with a ha. So inhale as you open, exhale, ha, ha, ha. Let's take one more for good measure. Ha. Inhale and open, lengthen. And if you'd like, we reach back, find this foot, lift and lengthen here. Breathing into your opening hip flexors, shoulder, and that 3rd chakra. Inhaling as you reach back to your sun dog or balanced cat. Hands come to the floor as this left leg reaches out. Take a moment here with a little bit of gentle windshield wipers. And then walking our way up. A block could be handy here, and you might want to place it in front of your knee. If you don't have a block, again, a book is great. Or you can also use your leg here. It's great to have something to land on with this gate or parigasana pose. With this posture, we want to really land on the right leg. Inhale, lift and lengthen. A long line right here. Reaching right up through fingertips. Let's exhale, land on the block or perhaps in front of that knee. Reaching strongly through the right side body. Breathing. Inhale up. We drop in and reach over. Finding space over here. Opening up to the sky. Next breath, we inhale up. And from here, let's bend this leg. And this left arm lands and we reach. One more breath. Inhaling up to center, exhaling as you land, we open and then open, really open yourself up to the sky and the ceiling. Exhaling, hand sweeps in front, both hands land. This long leg, this left leg can sweep over to the right side, land on the other side. We tuck the toes, lengthen through that leg, and gently peek over toward that foot. Bringing it right back to center, we settle into child pose. One big breath here as you exhale, lengthening through the back body. Inhaling up to all fours, and once you arrive there, tuck those toes, land in downward dog. Let this downward dog be as fluid and flexible and creative as you need it to be this morning. I'll do a little side view here, showing you all of the contortions I go through as I warm into my downward dog in the morning. Finding space, finding connection, grounding, length in the back body. We're breathing as we begin to really move into this downward dog, shifting forward and back. One more time. We shift forward and shift back, landing on both feet. And from here, walk forward, coming right up into standing forward bend or Uttanasana. We're dropping into both feet here. Inhale, hands to the knees slightly bend as you lengthen through the back body. Exhale down. And with the next breath, we inhale and sweep up. Exhaling, hands to the heart. Let's try that with the other side. I was going to say with one other side, but we only have one other side, so let's do it. Inhale up, exhale. Inhale up to a flat back, we exhale down. Let's step back with the left foot, taking that leg straight back and spending a little time here, either with blocks, the floor, tall blocks, but we're staying up if we can here, shifting forward and back. As you inhale forward, you exhale back. And the next time you have a long leg in front of you, we'll land there. Take a few breaths as we lengthen out through the base of that foot, maybe bringing a little windshield wiper in here. And landing that, let's take a breath together. Exhale and bow over this leg. And with your next breath, we shift that back leg forward. Back knee lands, this right knee lands right over your heel as we begin to power up for our warrior breaths. We're inhaling up. Remember, we take a breath here, hands come to fists, elbows and arms stay close to the body with the exhale. So we inhale, let's take 3 breaths together. Ha! 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 Inhaling, let's turn into warrior 2. So right arm is reaching over that right knee. Knee is still over the heel. Left arm is reaching behind you. And this one, we're inhaling here and bringing the arms into the body. We inhale, ha, ha, ha. Settling in, taking yourself right back to center. Again, hands land on the floor as we step this front leg behind. We're lengthening out through this long leg, and I'll do a side view here. So we're lengthening out through this long leg. I'm mirroring you. So left arm is forward, right leg is back. We're breathing. And with the next 3 breaths, we big breath and exhale, get rid of every bit of air. Ha. Ha. Inhale, open, lengthen out through fingertips and toes, and then we reach back, find that foot, lift through the shoulder, the quads, breathing into the core. Inhaling forward, turn back toward you. Inhaling forward here, hand comes to the mat as this right leg comes out to the side, preparing for Parigasana or gate pose. And this is where you might want to block. We'll bring that, if you have one, bring it in front of your knee. We're landing on the left leg here. Creating a straight line here as we lift and reach up, breathing into the full body, finding the core. With the next inhale, we're lengthening, and exhale, drop over. Nice breath here. Inhale and land. Then we lengthen. So you're lengthening from the sole of the foot right out through the fingertips. Next breath, we inhale up. Let's bend this knee, land on it, and lengthen. So finding lots of space in the left side body here. Another breath here. And from here, landing, reaching out with that leg once again, and rolling yourself, revolving yourself really up to the sky. Breathing into this wide open body. We exhale, hands sweep forward. This long leg reaches over to the left side, toes tuck. We lengthen through that leg as the big toe mound really reaches in, and gently gaze over that foot. Leg comes in. Let's take one big breath in child pose here, settling. Breathing into the back body. And inhaling, we roll our way up. Let's tuck the toes, find downward dog. Planting both feet, we drop into the right foot, lengthen through the left, reaching up to the sky. Your choice here, stay right here or consider bending that knee, opening the hip over to the left side, and perhaps peeking over your right shoulder to see your toes. Nice breath as you drop into the standing foot, and then inhaling up, that leg comes to the floor. Right leg lifts as the left heel really, really takes you into the earth. We lengthen up to the sky, and then consider bending this up knee and peeking over your left shoulder, noticing your toes. Inhale, we lengthen up. Leg lands, and let's walk forward, arriving in standing forward bend. Inhale, hands up to the knees. We roll the shoulders back. Exhale down. With your next breath, we soften the knees just a little as you inhale, lengthen up to the sky, and hands land at your heart. And so from here, coming to the front of your mat again, please. We'll try all of that from a standing routine. So coming into your mountain pose or Tadasana, we gently open the palms forward, letting the shoulders drop down the back. Noticing here where you can soften. Breathing. Finding length right up through the crown. With the next breath, we inhale up. Exhale. Inhale to a flat back. We exhale down. Let's step back with the left foot, taking that foot straight back if you're able. And if that's not in your practice, go ahead and drop it at a 45-degree angle. Either way, we're climbing our way up, either to warrior one or to high lunge. We inhale right up here. Right leg is behind, left leg is forward. Shoulders drop down the back. Take a moment to settle in here, find a focal point. Make that focal point probably not me. Something that's not moving is going to be your best bet. So finding a drishti this morning. As you power up the back leg, it is straight and strong and reaching to the back wall. We'll take the next 3 breaths together here with warrior breaths. So an inhale and an exhale, just like this. Trying this together, we inhale, exhale. Bringing that exhale right from the diaphragm. Let's try 2 more. We'll do 5 on this for the standing series. Inhale. Settle. Shoulders drop down the back. And if your foot is straight back, go ahead and shift it to a warrior 2, or rather to a 45-degree angle, and we shift our body to warrior 2. Lengthening out through left fingertips. Back leg stays straight as the tailbone tucks. We lift through the crown. So 5 breaths here, starting with an inhale and an exhale here. We inhale. think that was 5. We land and arrive. And breathe. Let's settle in a little deeper here. And while we're here, let's take this front arm, land over the front knee. Inhaling back arm forward, coming into a side angle. And so we're really finding a long body here, right from fingertips to the side of that right foot. Inhaling back up. Let's turn to the front, and from here we'll be shifting to warrior 3. So I'm going to shift my stance. Back foot comes under me a little bit more. I'll do this from the side in the next round. So from here, actually I'll do it from the side right now. So right leg is behind, left leg is forward. And so warrior 3 is this beautiful posture. And we'll be adding our warrior breaths here. So we'll start here, reach, exhale. Let's do just 3 there. All right, friends, so we're lifting and lengthening, dropping forward, rooting into that standing left leg. We exhale, bend knee, bring elbows into the knee, into the chest. We inhale and open. Exhale, ha. Last one. Oops. And you might lose your balance. Exhale, ha. And land. Nice work. Now you know it's coming on the next side. So we'll land here, let the shoulders drop. Relax. And then hands come to the we'll come to bring the hands to the floor. We'll bring them to the inside of this front leg. Dropping the back knee to the floor, finding a block if you need it. But we're moving right into dragon on this side. So forearms come to the floor or to a block. And we walk this front leg out a little bit here. Hello, hip. Won't be here too long. Think about rooting into the big toe mound of this foot. And then consider opening that foot. Rooting in and opening. One more. And from wherever you are, can you leave your right elbow or forearm on the floor? Reach over and grab this ankle. Inhale up with the left arm, lengthening up through fingertips, stacking shoulders. One more breath, and we exhale that hand to the floor. Untangle yourself here, coming right back to all fours. We drop into child pose, then lift. So it's just one, it's not even a breath. Toes tuck, exhale, downward dog. Letting the left leg come off the mat. We shake out that leg. And from here we walk forward, arriving in a standing forward bend. Inhaling up to a flat back, we exhale down, letting the head drop, shoulders drop, jaw releases. And then bend those knees slightly as you uncurl, lift and lengthen here. Hands find each other and come to the heart. Let's see if I can remember all that on the next side. We drop into both feet. We inhale up. Exhale. Inhale, lengthening through the back body. Exhale down. Let's step back with the left foot. So taking that foot and leg straight back, or landing at a 45-degree angle. Your choice here. Climb your way up to high lunge or warrior 1. We're inhaling, finding space here. Long, straight back leg. Again, we're powering this stance up by strong, straight leg, reaching toward the back of the room as fingertips lift and we breathe. Taking the breath right here, right from Manipura from third chakra, from your diaphragm, from this place of strength. We inhale up, next 5 breaths. Inhaling, exhale. Inhale, drop in. And if your back leg is not turned to a 45-degree angle, go ahead and drop into Warrior Two with arms, fingertips reaching out. Tailbone tucking, crown lifting here as we relax the shoulders. Relax your jaw. Lift through the crown. And know that we'll be doing 5 breaths together here. Inhaling here and exhaling here. Inhale. One more. Building strength and resilience and connecting with the earth here. We settle in. After one more breath, taking this front arm to the front leg. Left arm reaches up as we lengthen up through fingertips here. Breathing into this side angle. And then inhaling your way right back to Warrior Two. Let's turn to the front. Shorten your stance. We'll be preparing for Warrior Three. So I'm going to move back a little bit. I'll be doing this straight on. So I have a shortened stance here. I'm pretty much in Warrior One. And remember, Warrior Three, we'll be moving to Warrior Three. Remember, we want to drop into that standing foot. Exhale, bring elbows into the core, bringing the knee into the core, inhaling and opening. So let's start that together. We'll do 3 breaths here. Take a breath as you begin. Land in Warrior Three, lengthening out through fingertips, out through that foot, dropping the left hip. Another breath and exhale. Last one. Inhale, drop in. Beautiful. From here, hands come to the floor. We'll bring both hands to the inside of this front leg and make your way right down to dragon. And so again, if a block is your friend, and it is my friend on this side, we drop in. Let's take this right foot out to the side a little bit, so you're scooching your way over. Root down into that big toe mound and then consider opening. We root down and open. And then landing that big toe mound, we'll leave the left elbow and forearm on the floor or on the block. Reach over, grab your ankle. Inhale up with this right arm and lengthen up through fingertips. Exhaling that hand to the floor. We step back and let's land in child pose. With your next breath, inhale up to all fours. We'll tuck toes. Exhale, find your downward dog. Dropping into both feet before releasing that right leg and shake it out a little bit. From here, we walk forward, coming right to standing forward bend. Inhaling up to a nice flat back. We exhale down, letting the head drop, shoulders drop, brow releases, jaw releases, and then softening the knees, uncurl yourself from here. As we gently make our way up. Exhaling, hands behind the back. We come right to our standing camel once again, lifting through the heart, shoulders drop down the back body. And breathe. And from here, come on down to the floor, please. Thought we would do one more third chakra thing. So let's come into boat this morning. Great place to start with boat is right here. We have a nice long back body. We're reaching from the tailbone up through the crown. Shoulders are dropped down the back. And your boat may be as perfect and as simple as this. Once again, really lengthening through that back body. We're supported here, opening the heart forward, lengthening up through the crown, and breathing. This may be just where you stay, but you can also consider lengthening legs. You can also consider releasing and breathing. You may also consider finding a scissors movement here. Always with the back straight. And from here we come down to a little bit of a, like more of a canoe, and breathe. And then make your way to a raft, and eventually coming to your back body. Take a moment to breathe. And for the next minute or so, I invite you to find whatever inversion makes sense for you. But I would encourage you this morning to consider a half shoulder stand as we work on strength, concentration, intentions. If half shoulder stand is not your practice this morning, please consider just legs in the air, or perhaps putting your hips on a block with legs in the air. Breathing all the way from the toes to the crown. And if you're in half shoulder stand, is there any other expression of this shoulder stand that speaks to you this morning? Or perhaps come into plow, halasana. And no matter where you are, begin to gently come out of your inversion, taking as much time as you need to lengthen the spine, find space, excuse me, in the neck. Actually take a moment to close the eyes, allowing the body to recover. And when you're ready, knees can come in. We find a nice hug here, perhaps a little gentle rocking. And rocking the knees all the way over to one side, we open the arms wide. And then inhaling knees back to center, we drop them in the other direction. Inhaling knees to center. Take your time and make your way into Shavasana. Let your Shavasana be as supported and as gentle as you need it to be this morning. Perhaps finding a shirt or a jacket to put on, maybe a blanket to pull over, maybe even using a pillow. Softening into the back body. Allowing the big muscles of the back body to settle into the floor and into the earth. Feeling and noticing that connection with the earth. Softening the jaw as you breathe into the back body. Taking a big deep breath and releasing that breath with a sigh. Let's do one more of those. We inhale and let it go. Imagine inhaling in through the crown and exhaling out through the soles of your feet. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you. May the long time sun shine upon you, guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you. May the pure light within you guide your way on. Satnam, 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 Satnam. Stay in life, even in the midst of tragedy. Make yourself do normal things while things are not normal to keep your footing. Focus on one thing at a time, even when more things feel like they are coming at you. Just one. Feel your fear and grief while staying in life, because you are alive and it is your turn. Be patient. You don't have all the answers. Take action. You don't have forever. Connect to nature, the earth, where you came from and where you will return to. Prune what is no longer alive, on a plant and in life too. Prune to let the alive parts receive nourishment to grow and be fruitful. Feel the earth deeply. It will nourish you and nourish your food to nourish you. Thank a bee, thank a butterfly, thank a worm, and garden. Give your full attention to your garden. It will teach you everything you need to know. Everything. And so very gently take a few deep breaths. Start to find a little movement in your body. And as you're ready, knees can come in for that final hug. Before dropping over to one side or the other. Landing, take a breath there. And then make your way up to a seated position. And as you drop both sits bones into the earth and lengthen up through the crown, consider softening the gaze or closing your eyes. With the next breath, we inhale, arms up overhead, palms come together and sink down in front of your heart. And take a moment here to think back to the intentions you set. And also to thank yourself for this practice this morning. We'll end class today with the single sound of Om after an inhale. Inhale. Namaste, my friends. And thank you.